What is up, guys? Euclid back here with you again, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be covering something that I have been looking forward to for a little while now. I've been wanting to cover the Kickstarter page of the game known as Chernobylite by the Farm51, a Polish developer that I've been following for quite some time now. We're basically going to be visiting their Kickstarter page, which is already at $94,679 out of $100,000. We're going to be going over how they support this stuff, how they've actually just released a Discord server, how they handle themselves, and so far it's looking like they're pretty close knit. They have actually already had a really good AMA that I was actually able to find some time during work to contribute in, and we were able to get a lot of our questions asked. But stay tuned, guys. We're going to go ahead and go over this Kickstarter, go over Chernobylite, and the game that is inspired by the actual Chernobyl Exclusion Zone. Alrighty, guys, so due to some time constraints and everything within the video and within my work week, I am not going to be going over every single intricate detail that has to do with this Kickstarter if it's a fairly long page. But we're going to start the Kickstarter by listening to the creative director and talk about what the Kickstarter is, what the project is, and really, I think, a little bit about what inspired it. I've been looking forward to jumping into this and kind of promoting the game more so, because right now, financially, I cannot afford to give as much as I would like, if anything at all, at the moment. But I figured the best way that I could support this game that is to really just use the setup I already have and make videos on it. So that's where we're going to go. So it says right here, Kickstarter. By the Farm51, first created, Chernobylite, survival horror in 3D scanned Chernobyl Zone. Survive and reveal the secrets of Chernobyl in a science fiction survival horror with unique narratives, combat, and crafting. Here, as you guys can see, at the time of the video, and there may be more by the time this video goes public, hopefully the next day, which will be Saturday, it says they've already raised $94,679, and they have not had this Kickstarter up for very long at all. They have 21 days left to go to get the Kickstarter up, so hopefully they'll actually be able to go over their limit per se, which will actually be able to afford them more travel expenses as such like that, because obviously they're not living in Chernobyl. They're traveling there by a specific route, which does indeed cost them money. And I'm sure it's not so simple to just go there every day like you have had granted access. They have to pay for this, and the equipment they use. There's a lot that has to do with this stuff. They use a lot of 3D scanning drones. There are things that they use to scan the environment. There are things that they use as well as vehicles they have to rent and people they probably have to pay to have guides with them. They'll probably explain a little bit more now. But let's go ahead and check out the video to the Kickstarter that is led by the creative director himself. A little late, but I got some coffee.
Hi Kickstarter, my name is Wojciech Pazdur and I'm the creative director of the Farm51, a Polish video games company that created games like Get Even or more recently World War III. Now we are back with a new project, an equally exciting and horrifying survival horror game. We want to dive into the mysterious world of the Chernobyl nuclear disaster, which you probably know from the famous s.t.a.l.k.e.r series. You know, I, myself, actually remember the gloomy spring of 1986 very well. It happened only a few hundreds of kilometers from the Polish border.
Oh, wow.
I was 9 and I didn't really understand why they forbade us to eat fresh fruits or vegetables. Our government ordered administering strong iodine solution to young people as it was supposed to protect us from the radiation. And believe me, it was disgusting. But somehow Chernobyl became more than a childhood memory for me. It became a hobby, a bug. That's why in 2016 we created Chernobyl VR project, an interactive virtual documentary. To make it, we went on dozens of long trips to the site. We learned the history of the place and the people. When a few years later we started floating the idea of going back to Chernobyl for a survival horror game, it was absolutely clear for us that what we wanted was, above all, to tell a deeply personal story.
So, why survival horror, you may ask? Well, Chernobyl itself has a unique post-apocalyptic scenery, and each visit to the zone is like real-life survival experience. Ask yourself a question: what if I had to spend a few weeks there? Every day you have to take care of food, medicines and other resources. Any bullet you shoot could be more useful later, and believe me, sooner or later you will pull the trigger. Not necessary to kill another human being. Let's say that you know how to stay alive. But what about your mission? The zone is a radioactive wasteland where it's very difficult to do everything yourself. But you don't need to be alone. We kept it realistic, so establishing creation, cooperation, or sometimes rivalry will be the most important aspect of the game. How you handle it determines your success. There's a couple of full-blooded characters with their own history and their own goals. It's your choice if you want to turn them into allies or foes. Instead of linear film-like story, you have a multiple storylines where you create your own plot, which will be different and unique with each passing game. You don't get to know how it ends, you decide.
Okay.
Accurate recreation of the ghost town of Pripyat is a very important element of our game. To do so, we perform dozen precise photogrammetric drone scans, thanks to which we are able to recreate whole buildings in the highest quality possible.
We use the technology called Reality 51 that we have been developing in our studio for the last 5 years. Being a small team with tiny budgets, we needed tools to create believable worlds and stories. And one of our obsessions was to work with real humans in real environments to make everything feel as it should be.
Wow. Окей.
Привет, я Алексей Сытянов, и я геймдизайнер и сценарист. Вы можете меня знать по таким проектам, как S.t.a.l.k.e.r Тень Чернобыля, Зонвариум и s.t.a.l.k.e.r. Также я очень много времени потратил, изучая психологию и психотерапию, около 9 лет. В Chernobylite я буду заниматься сюжетом, историей, персонажами, и буду при этом использовать свое знание психологии, чтобы сделать историю более глубокой, более реальной, более цепляющей.
Oh, wow.
Let me introduce you to the Black S.t.a.l.k.e.r. You can meet him in the game. As you can see, he found his costume comfortable, which he can thank Kasia for, because she is the person who designs and makes all the costume you can see in the game.
Wow.
And here is our star. Asia is our graphic designer, but at the same time she plays an essential character in Chernobylite.
Hello, I'm Asia or Tatiana. I work in buff as a graphic designer and one of the main characters of Chernobylite. I always wanted to visit Chernobyl, which turned out to be survival camp for me. During our shooting sessions, I had to play in light dresses around 0 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
I was freezing and I couldn't show it.
When it comes to designing characters, the first thing we do is character draft written by our story designer. Then we make a bunch of fast sketches and eventually concept arts for the key characters. The next step is creating a basic outfit based on our drawings. Then we go on a trip and take pictures of our character in actual Chernobyl scenery. When we feel everything is ready, we do a 3D scanning and then let our 3D artists do their magic with preparing the final 3D model.
We want to translate reality into a virtual universe on a huge scale, using advanced 3D scanning and photogrammetry methods. A lot of hard work awaits in extreme conditions of the zone, with no electricity or internet, but it will pay off.
With our Kickstarter campaign, we mostly want to expand the Chernobylite world with its heart of darkness, the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. We have been in this place several times. We scanned samples of its outer and inner structures, but to accurately recreate it as the whole game location, we need to make several more very difficult and expensive trips. Working close to the nuclear power plant, especially inside, under many radiation-related restrictions, is much harder. We know how to do it, but we need your support. The second goal of Kickstarter is to be able to widely expand the Pripyat city area that we already have in the game, with more buildings, streets and hideouts. Here is simply the matter of scale. The more funds we'll be able to collect, the bigger virtual Pripyat is going to be, because then we can make more trips and scan more objects in the zone. So please, support Chernobylite and find out what it truly is.
Okay. I'm really liking where this is going. And obviously enough. And that was a really good, genuine video. And I gotta say, like 95% funded with 21 days remaining. They're doing really good, fantastic work thus far. And it was really cool to hear. But one thing One thing that Farm51 has done really well, especially the team behind Chernobylite specifically, is that they've already been releasing documentary forms behind the scenes and stuff like that. And it does help with a Kickstarter support to do that kind of thing. But what I really like to see is that they're kind of letting us get to know the people behind the team before anybody else. We get to know the humans making the game and the humans with the story. And just like the creative director himself said, and I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not going to mispronounce your name until I know how to say it correctly. But it was incredible. And the fact that, you know, a lot of these people grew up near the exclusion zone when this happened, and that's a bit of more of a personal, immersive story. And like he said, it's more of a bug. And I know if people like me from the West Coast, or as I've been called here and there, a little bit like a PIMDOS or something like that. I have jokingly been called that by people as a joke because I'm an American and I have this obsession with culture and stories from the East, and I can't really explain that. But what I can explain is that if I had this bug, there's no doubt someone like him had this bug, and those around his team. What I really like about this team is that they, you know, the Chernobylite project has not exactly been known for a very long time, not really, but yet it's already got this kind of crazy support, and a lot of that does have to do with the S.t.a.l.k.e.r community. A lot of that has to do with that cult. We are the S.t.a.l.k.e.rs behind the series and everything, and the fact that the writer behind Shadow of Chernobyl is with them, and getting to see his perspective, and all these little mini documentaries are not hurting you guys. You need to keep releasing this stuff. It is fantastic to see that release and stuff like that, but you're building a bigger human element, which is a better way to get support. Anyways, we've gone over the video and everything, and I think it's important we actually go to the main Kickstarter page and let's run down the details. So, first of all, they do in fact have a Chernobylite pre-alpha Kickstarter demo that is available. I'm actually pretty sure that I may be able to play that sometime soon. So whether or not I am, and even if I'm not able to, I'm going to be watching that soon and hopefully checking it out. I hear it's pretty cool. It even hints to base building and some other cool stuff. You guys should really check that out. I'll leave a link to that trailer down below in the above the comments section. You have to forgive me too, because I haven't had coffee in over like a week and I'm a little jolted right now. So let's go ahead and jump down to it. Chernobylite is a science fiction survival horror single-player experience, missing free exploration of its disturbing world with challenging combat, unique crafting, and non-linear storytelling. So there will be some linear elements, as was confirmed in the AMA, the Ask Me Anything session through the Chernobylite Discord. However, not everything is non-linear, and they know that a lot of S.t.a.l.k.e.r fans are coming here, and they don't want to be in the Shadow of S.t.a.l.k.e.r series, and I don't think they will be. They have confirmed this is going to be Metro Exodus and S.t.a.l.k.e.r have elements of horror in them, but what's going to differ this game is it specifically is going to zone in on the survival horror, and that's going to be something that I'm going to welcome that to this kind of genre, as you know, as he's put it, and that's something I really want to see. So moving on from that, our game is being developed in a small but very inexpensive team of 20 professionals work both in the office and in the rogue wastelands of Chernobyl Exclusion Zone using laser scanning, photogrammetry, drones, movie equipment, and handcrafted props and costumes. We've already went through the pre-production phase, and we have a playable demo version of our game that we want to share with our Kickstarter backers, giving them possibility of experiencing Chernobylite world in 1 to 2 hours of pre-alpha gameplay. So, and obviously you've got all your trailers and stuff like that. Why Kickstarters? We could go through all this, and I think I can run and read through it really quickly, so we will. Ever since we've announced our game, we've been receiving tons of comments and feedback from the gaming community out there, and it all led to one conclusion, that everybody hopes to be able to explore the destroyed Chernobyl nuclear power plant and Pripyat Ghost City in our game as deeply as possible, and we're more eager than ever to deliver that. But this means that we should expand the locations in the game comparing to the original concept that we had, and ask gamers for their help in doing so. It's a hard and dangerous task, keeping in mind that to achieve that goal, we'll need to make some extra trips to the exclusion zone and scan even more buildings and objects. Then processing of the scan data and tuning into the game locations will take a lot of work. So they're consistently, you know, since 2016 they've been scanning things in these games, and it became more than just the Pripyat VR project or whatever. It became more than that. So building upon that, it's expensive. It has to be expensive. That's why, and I'll be mentioning the different packages in the Kickstarter program. Some can get pretty expensive, but there are people that are fans of games who are a little bit more high dollar on their budget and can afford that, and I don't think there's any shame in naming your different budget for the Kickstarters. Like I said, I just admitted I might be able to afford the regular edition, and that's it. but I'm still going to cover this as much as I can. Moving on from that, that is why we decided to reach out for community support. During our Kickstarter campaign, you have the chance to pre-order the game and make pledges to receive some really cool items. Some that I really do want, personally. The crowdfunding campaign will let us collect some extra funds to do location expansions for Chernobylite and add some extra features that we were always dreaming of. Also, what is even more important, it will allow us to gather the feedback on the first versions of our project and to develop it accordingly to community opinions. It says right here, and you'll see that there are different documentary making 3 of the zone, and I think it's the one I haven't seen yet, so we'll check that out on a different time, I think. The game is being developed for both PC and consoles, but as a small team, we have to handle one platform at a time, and that is why we will start with the PC version. And if we get enough popularity and support here on Kickstarter, we'll also push to make solid plans for the other platforms. During the last 8 years, we have developed 3 multi-platform games, and Chernobylite is already designed and tested in console environment, but only by launching a successful Kickstarter campaign, we can organize the final porting work and plan the console release. What is Chernobylite? Uncover the dark secret. April 26th, 1:23 a.m. Ukrainian time, 1986. The day when Chernobyl nuclear catastrophe happened and the life of 350,000 people changed forever. At the time, you were just a young, passionate, naive physicist working at the facility, and like many, you've lost what was most dear to you, your girlfriend. 30 years later, you're still struggling with the demons of the past, so to finally put them to rest, you are getting back to what's now called the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone. Key features: collaborate or compete with other stalkers and meet in the zone. But whatever you do, never fully trust them. Remember, everybody has a hidden agenda, always. Face and survive natural and supernatural threats. Immerse yourself in the thrilling nonlinear science fiction horror story. Make good use of your character's knowledge to craft your equipment, manage your supplies, and arrange your stalker's base. There is base building. They've confirmed it with the videos, the demos, and everything else in between. I'm really excited for that. It says right here, investigate and collect data with sophisticated environment and substance analyzing tools, which is kind of cool considering how they're building the zone for the game in the first place. It's kind of a nice little nod to them in a way. Explore the beautiful and horrifyingly accurate 3D scanned recreation of the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone. And it is looking really pretty, and we're far from done. Obviously, it's supposed to release at the end of this year, I believe. Find your loved one. The fact that the traces of Tatiana are present in the Chernobyl power plant is almost certain. The key is how to get inside the most dangerous place on Earth. Collect equipment, companions, and information. You can set off on a suicidal mission at any time, but the more days you spend in the zone, the better you'll be prepared for the final encounter at the Chernobyl Heart of Darkness. Or the Chernobyl's Heart of Darkness. Good lord. Survive. Ally or compete with other stalkers of the Chernobyl zone to survive. Remember that life is fragile and it's your decisions that determine the fate of your companions. You can spend as long as you need preparing, however be aware that your story is still being written. With every passing moment your chances of success are dwindling, comrades are dying, supplies are running out, or an unexpected patrol could discover you. And on top of all of this, supernatural dangers are arising around you in the mysterious patterns. Each day brings new challenges with the ever-increasingly severity of your current situation. Plan your strategy carefully if you want to survive. That's really cool to look at. So, being able to play with other stalkers, and that's kind of the tribute from the Stalker series, especially with getting the writer from Shadow of Chernobyl. That's something that I'm really excited to see. That's what this is. There's been a flood of Stalker fans that have jumped in to support him. So, and obviously they're mentioning that you can pledge some money on the side. We're actually going to go down and view that. So I apologize that this is a long video, but this is something I really wanted to cover because this is something that I really want to succeed. Now, they're already, going to, but I want them to do better than just good. So this is why I'm doing this, and I apologize if it's so long, but for those of you interested, bear with me. We're going to talk about more of it as we go along. Build your base. Create and modify equipment. Every night you return to your base. Which equipment, potential, and appearance depend on what you find in the zone. Expanding the workshop will give you new possibilities for crafting. Comfortable beds to increase the morale of the companions, and or a small field hospital can give you a second chance when something goes wrong. It's up to you how you expand your base, and the possibilities are unlimited. It says right here, play by your own rules. Decide what happens in the world around you by making choices and finding or avoiding the truth. Non-linear story. Every character in the game can die and every task can be failed. In Chernobylite, it is not the script that drives the narration of the game, but the player himself. His skills and decisions which can lead to various consequences and changes to the story. There are several people in the zone who can be persuaded in various ways to join you. Each of them has its own character and mission package. Their goals, both explicit and hidden, may, however, be in complete contradiction with your mission or the priorities of other team members. How you choose and work with your team members brings unique events and tasks that affect both you and the entire zone. So yeah, obviously you can have a pair of teammates or more than two or more, who won't agree with each other, and eventually when their agendas are discovered and they realize that they're against each other, they might try to kill each other. You might have to choose between them or try to keep them at peace, but eventually it leads to conflict, so you're eventually going to be forced to make some decisions, which I'm guessing a lot of those are probably going to be pretty tough. It says right here, each gameplay is unique. Just like in roguelike games, many elements of this game are random. That's one of the biggest questions I had for the AMA. Will it have elements similar to S.t.a.l.k.e.r? Which, you want to keep the S.t.a.l.k.e.r questions out, because even though they have the lead writer from S.t.a.l.k.e.r series out there, like they have the writer from Shadow of Chernobyl, I should say, you can't expect this to be another S.t.a.l.k.e.r game. Like, everybody's wanting chill fires and people in Gopnik stances, and everybody's just hanging out and saying cheeky breeky and all that other stuff. It's going to be more than that. It's going to be more than this. Is a survival horror game with elements of that game, and he said so himself that, you know, that it was an inspiration for it, but it is not something they're just going to blindly copy from. So, moving on. So, from very important things like available quests or characters you meet, as well as smaller ones such as smaller local events or available resources. Thanks to this, each game throws different light challenges, different possibilities, and tasks ahead of the player's journey. That is so nasty. It looks like a bloodsucker in an alternate dimension. About the team. Our team is small but experienced and brave enough to work under the radiation on Chernobylite. We have finished many projects so far, such as Get Even, Chernobyl VR Project, Painkiller, Painkiller Hell, and Damnation, and Necrovision. All of these projects gave us technologies and ideas to think about creating one of the craziest post-apocalyptic games ever done. Then here you have a picture of, I'm guessing, the main body, if not all of the team behind Chernobylite. As the company, TheFarm51, we've been developing various games and applications in the established business environment for 15 years already. But at the same time, the Chernobylite crew is a tiny group of about 20 people who push to follow the indie-spirited way of making games that try to constantly break some limits. This is why we've obsessively worked to utilize 3D scanning technology to let us recreate the real world in the most accurate way, without having a massive budget of AAA productions, which is another reason I like them. They can be a bit of an underdog when you think about it. So it says here, so we fight to create unique narrative tools to tell the most immersive stories in a purely interactive way, but letting the player decide what happens, not by showing linear cinematics. We are traveling to Chernobyl Exclusion Zone to gather materials and references, taking thousands of pictures and scanning the area with drones. All of this in order to provide the most accurate version of the zone ever, no matter the dust, the weather, the temperature, or even radiation. So going down on the details of the teams, and forgive me if I pronounce your all's names wrong. So going with this right here, it says that this gentleman's name, the creative director, is Wojciech Pazdur, and he says right here, has been working in video game industry for almost 20 years, participated in Painkiller and The Witcher, and later created Necrovision, Painkiller, Hell, and Damnation, Get Even, and Chernobyl VR Project. In Chernobylite team, he is the creative director, transferring his passion to amazing stories, Chernobyl, and photogrammetry into the game. Right here, Artur Focic, I believe is his name. I'm pronouncing it wrong. Just correct me in the comments. Ignorance can be fixed, I suppose. He is the game director. Games have been his passion and occupation for 14 years. Developed games like Painkiller, Hell, and Damnation. Deadfall Adventures. Game director of Get Even now. Continues his work in Chernobylite, taking care of the production process and quality of the game from the basic design to final implementation, even if it means being the bad cop. That's what you need one in this kind of thing. Next up we have none other than Alexei Sityanov, story and narrative designer. Throughout his more than 18 years in the industry, he tried multiple genres and worked in major Ukrainian game studios, from Vogster to 4A Games. But first and foremost, he is known as the lead game designer, scriptwriter, and ideologist of S.t.a.l.k.e.r Shadow of Chernobyl. Alexei has a rich psychology and psychotherapeutic practice that is helping him to work on the deep, complex stories. Jesus Christ. So, I'm going to say this, apologize if I say it wrong. Anna Krimian. I know I'm saying that wrong. Krimian? Just tell me how to say it in the comments. I apologize if I said it wrong. Working in the games industry for 5 years and as a graphic designer for 10 years, previously worked on Get Even as a 2D artist, graduated Academy of the Fine Arts in Chernobylite. She is keeping an eye on the artistic vision of the project, paying attention to even the smallest pixels. Next up, we have Michael Mishorjewski, and I know I'm probably saying that wrong, but he's the lead 3D artist. 3D artist with 7 years experience, mastered his photogrammetry skills while working on Get Even and Chernobyl VR project. He is our Chernobyl veteran who went there 11 times so far or more. He already lost count and spent hundreds of hours scanning the zone and modeling assets. Apart from that, he coordinates the work of the Enviro team, or Enviro team, I believe, and he also loves yerba mate. So, right here we have Katarzyna Pazdur, working in game dev industry since 2005. Started as a 3D artist in Necrovision and Painkiller Hell and Damnation. Now in Chernobylite, she is our 3D scanning specialist, photographer, and costume designer. Also character creator and urban explorer. All those awesome handmade costumes and masks are her work. So that's pretty impressive. And next up we have Konstanty Kulik, film director and drone operator. 20 years in the film industry, and his passion for R&D exploration and new technologies benefit his work for Chernobylite. Previously worked, among other projects, on Get Even and also on Chernobyl VR project and MS Pilsudski VR Theater. Our roadmap. The same as our game heroes, we have a big plan to what to do about the Chernobyl. April 2019, launched the Kickstarter campaign and finalized the content plan for the project. May 2019, delivered the exclusive game demo for our backers, 1 to 2 hours of gameplay. May 2019 to September 2019, gather and implement feedback from people playing our demo. October 2019, launch the closed alpha testing with our community. November 2019, they'll release the early access of Steam. Based on the feedback of our players, expand the PC version and finalize it in the second half of 2020, and console versions are planned, as people have been asking a lot in the AMA on Discord. However, the final schedule for the release will rely on the feedback and support we will gather during Kickstarter and PC Early Access. Now we get to the backer rewards. Promise I'll try to breeze through this because I know this is kind of a long video, but it's something I've been wanting to cover for several days now. And right here we said it. Backer rewards. Only on Kickstarter. You will get exclusive access to the demo version and the closed alpha. $2. Big thanks. You get a Chernobylite wallpaper, digital art book, and a special thanks from the team. Demo access, $15. Chernobylite wallpaper, digital art book, special thanks, and a Kickstarter exclusive demo. $30 digital edition. Kickstarter demo, Chernobylite wallpaper, art book, a special thanks from the team, and Steam Early Access digital key. $35 early bird edition, which is something I might shoot for if I can't spare more soon, I promise. And it says we get the early access digital key, exclusive demo access, wallpaper, art book that's digital, special thanks, and Kickstarter exclusive closed early access, or closed alpha access. Zone Explorer edition for $40. They have it here for the Kickstarter exclusive demo access, Chernobylite wallpaper, Steam early access digital key, digital art book, Kickstarter exclusive closed alpha access, another special thanks from the team, some printed postcards, which is pretty popular when it comes to the Stalker/Metro community, and of course some printed Tatiana's pictures, which are going to be from the game, I would assume, and then a printed map of the zone, of the actual Chernobyl Exclusion Zone that they're scanning into the game. Zone Stalker Edition for $45. They have a Steam Early Access digital key, exclusive beta, exclusive closed alpha access, Kickstarter exclusive demo access, Chernobylite wallpaper, digital art book, printed postcards, printed Tatiana's pictures, map of the zone, a stalker patch that says Chernobylite, looks to be more of a horizontal rectangle, and a special thanks from the team. Going forward, I'll just kind of name what's different from the last. It's kind of because I make it a little bit shorter. $50, the Black Stalker mask, basic mask solo. Literally, you get, as a thank you, you get the Black Stalker mask solo. And that, I believe, is all you get with this one, but it is a prop. So they're making these for people. $60, Kickstarter exclusive boxed edition, which means you get the boxed edition of the game, which a lot of us, myself included, if you're old like me, you really appreciate physical collector's editions. It's something you like. Obviously, I like memorabilia, as you can see behind me. It's a little ridiculous. And I like getting those kind of things. So you get all of the same things as before with the mention of the Zone Stalker Edition, but it also includes not only the art book, early access digital key and stuff like that, but it gets like boxed edition, and collectors will like that. For $75, you can get the Black Stalker 3-in-1 Gas Mask Solo Edition, which is more of the full Black Stalker mask with actually the filters and the tubes coming out of the sides and everything, which is kind of cool to see. And it's handcrafted 3-in-1 Black Stalker gas mask. There's also a video that describes the making of the Black Stalker mask you guys should check out. I'm going to leave links to all these in the video if I can remember. There's a lot to it. $80 Survivor Edition includes all of the previously mentioned things as with the edition before the Black Stalker Mask Edition. And it even has a, I believe, is it a box edition? Probably a digital edition. But it has an original Cold War era gas mask, and I believe this is actually a Polish gas mask, if I am not mistaken, is what I saw in the Discord channel. I'm sure that you guys will correct me if I'm wrong. I really want that one, so if I was going to go to anyone, I'd probably go for this one. Then you have the Cold War Stalker Limited Edition. It's a boxed version, your name in the credits, all gone, all sold out. That's how well this is doing. That more expensive versions of the Kickstarter programs for goodies and stuff like that, just as a thank you for jumping on and helping them fund the game, are already being sold out. That's why they're already almost at their goal of $100,000 or more. And I hope we can push way past that initial goal. Next up, right here, because the only thing that changes is with the gas mask, there's also a box version, and a thanks in the credits. I'm kind of slurring my words. Need more coffee. Next up, we have the Black Stalker Limited Core Edition, which means it comes with early access digital key, the exclusive closed alpha access, Kickstarter exclusive demo, wallpaper that's digital art book, and special thanks from the team, and the handcrafted 3-in-1 Black Stalker gas mask. Personally, I would like it, but I'm a big fan of that Cold War design. I really like that eerie liquidator kind of look that has to it. Next up, we have the Black Stalker Collector's Edition for $100. You get the Black Stalker basic mask, which is still pretty cool. Kind of gives me a Jason X vibe, but we won't go there. I love the Chernobylite look. It definitely has that theme. I think Chernobylite when I see the mask and the eyes of the mask that look like they had been spiritually infused with the material that is Chernobylite. It's really cool. Has everything as aforementioned of the versions before, but it also includes a boxed edition, and instead you get the Black Stalker basic mask. Next up, you have the Chernobylite Hero Edition, which people have already bought. And only on Kickstarter you can get the main hero customized gas mask, authentic gas mask, so you can use it just in case of an apocalypse. So evidently this is an actual, it's an actual gas mask, I guess. That's cool. Thanks in the credits, and then all the aforementioned things as additions before. The True Hero Limited Edition, which is all gone. The only difference between it and the previous one is that it has everything mentioned in this one before it with the Chernobylite Hero Edition, but they also get an authentic USSR Liquidator order, which people probably really wanted if they're big fans of this cult genre. Next up, we have the Cold War Stalker Survival Edition. I want this one for 3 reasons. The gas mask, the Chernobylite shirt, and the physical art book. I love art books. I'm currently on the hunt for a limited edition art book of Alien Isolation just because of the game's just fucking beautiful. So moving on though, I love the original Cold War era gas mask, and I really doubt they're going to give these to people knowing they're going to wear them if there's asbestos. So guys, stop spreading that crap around for the love of God. And if there is asbestos, what is wrong with you people? I love this. Black Stalker Survival Edition. Same thing as the previous one with the Cold War Stalker Survival Edition. However, instead of the Cold War era gas mask, you get the handcrafted 3-in-1 Black Stalker gas mask. I would prefer this one. I think it's eerier, it's creepier, and it would make for some killer fucking thumbnails if I could fit it over my gigantic head. Moving on from that, we have the $250 backer version, which is the Black Stalker Traveler Kit, which actually includes all the aforementioned stuff as before, a boxed edition, Chernobylite t-shirt, physical art book, your name in the credits, the 3-in-1 Black Stalker gas mask, and a Black Stalker backpack, which is just cool. Now we're getting to the point of cosplayers potentially, and if I had the money and didn't have the priorities at the moment, I would totally back probably the most expensive version that I could. Next up, we have the Black Stalker Uniform Kit, which, as the name describes, comes with everything, including the art book, the shirt, no Cold War era mask, but you get the 3-in-1 Black Stalker gas mask, the Black Stalker jacket, and the Black Stalker backpack. Really cool for those of you that have money on the side or are looking for something to invest in and you really want to get into this game or want to cosplay. It'd be good for those of you that want to do some good thumbnails. So, next up we have the $600 version, the Black Stalker Cosplay Kit, which is going to have the full set shebang from family. You have the boxed version, all the digital content, thanks from the team, thanks in credits, physical art book, which I really want, Chernobylite t-shirt, the 3-in-1 Black Stalker gas mask, Black Stalker backpack, Black Stalker jacket. I mean, cheeky breaky, dude. You're gonna get into this stuff, and you're really gonna had to do a Gopnik pose in the thumbnail if I had that. I don't care. Next up, we have the $750 edition, and there's some expensive ones, guys, but no judgment here. There's nothing wrong with putting them out there in case somebody has the money and wants to be generous. The Black S.t.a.l.k.e.r Ultimate Cosplay Kit has all the aforementioned things, including the box version, t-shirt, physical art book, thanks in the credits, map of the zone, thanks from the team, and then it has Black S.t.a.l.k.e.r backpack, 3-in-1 gas mask, Black S.t.a.l.k.e.r jacket, trousers, S.t.a.l.k.e.r gloves, knee pads, and then Black S.t.a.l.k.e.r bag. So basically, you're going to be a fully equipped, I'm guessing what could be the antagonist from the game, and that's crazy, but I love it. It's really cool. And then they say shoes not included because someone complained, but come on, people, everybody's got big old feet or small feet, and they're not going to be able to tell. And getting your size, I doubt they're going to provide shoes. Next up, a lifetime adventure, and there's one reason mainly why I wish I had the money to back these crazy expensive versions, and that is because of the amazing trip to Chernobyl with the team at the Farm51. If only. One day I'm going to go to Chernobyl, but not now. Not yet. I probably won't get to do that for several years. $1,300, a lifetime adventure. Includes all the aforementioned stuff, including special thanks from the team, thanks in the credits, boxed edition, Chernobylite t-shirt, physical art book, and the entire outfit for the Black S.t.a.l.k.e.r antagonist, I believe it is, from Chernobylite. And only on Kickstarter, amazing trip to Chernobyl with to visit the ghost city with us at the Farm51. 1 or 2 day trip to Chernobyl Exclusion Zone. Travel to Ukraine not included. Just come to Kyiv, Ukraine on your own, and we will take you from there. So you have to pay for your expenses to get there. However, if you do that with this version, they're going to take you on a trip with them, and it would be a really surreal experience for those of you that do have a fascination with the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone, or really just anybody or any catastrophe from that part of the world. It really is, from what I've been told from people who've actually been there, a different definition of a mixture of beauty and pain. And only people from there really understand that. So trying to understand it, I think, is what matters. $2,500 edition, the Eternal Fame edition, includes everything, literally everything, as the aforementioned, just not the Cold War mask, which is kind of what I want personally. The Chernobyl art book, t-shirt, box edition, thanks and credits, special thanks, postcards, everything, the entire S.t.a.l.k.e.r, the entire S.t.a.l.k.e.r outfit, the trip to Chernobyl, and they will scan you to be a character in the game. So if you back them to this level, you're basically being considered a part of the team and a part of the cast, and you will become a character. It says right here you have that trip to Chernobyl as well. You in the game, you will be 3D scanned in our studio and become one of our game characters, and you will meet the team, which would be an honor. For those of you that have the money, you don't have to tell anybody. Just do it and go. If you have the money and you want to do it, that's basically a vacation to one of the most interesting places in the world, in my opinion. So if you did that, you wanted to brag about it, who cares? People judge you. If you got the money and it's your money and you want to visit them, I fully encourage it. If I had the money on me right now, I literally had to give half that amount of money to buy a new washer-dryer unit because my kitchen looked like Venice the other day because my washer's drum cracked and I had to buy a brand new washer and dryer. It's a 2-in-1. It's so expensive. But if I didn't have to do that and pay all the bills that I had right now, I would most definitely be investing in this, which would probably be a little unfair. But again, if you have the money, screw what people think. Support the team in whatever way you feel fit. So guys, this was a very long video. We're going to finish it off with this right here. Risk and challenges. Game development can be harsh, with time and financial constraints often providing unexpected challenges leading to changes and delays. Fortunately, the Farm51 team has been involved in different games like e.g. Get Even across many different platforms and has great expertise in the FPS specifically, with a strong track record of shipping some of the genre's greatest games. Chernobylite's development began right after we had finished Get Even, and our production plan has been designed to create the best game in a certain time. Thanks to a thorough pre-production period, we were able to determine the final shape of the game, what exactly we want to accomplish. This way we can achieve the best quality for the budget we have planned. So it says right there, we're already funding the game ourselves, and Kickstarter will allow us to expand the game's feature set to seek funds to integrate our community's input. The biggest risk are that we may be late with the game's launch, which is fine. Let that thing bake in the oven, baby. I want a game to be better anyways. And it says, due to a bigger production scope resulting from the feedback we may receive from our community, or that certain features we have planned so far might be changed or even ruled out as we move ahead with the development. We know how to make quality games, and we know how to finish them, and we have no intention of letting you down. Learn about accountability on Kickstarter. So guys, that was the full rundown, or as full as I can get it, and I apologize for the length of the video if it was too long for your taste. But that was the full rundown of the Farm51 and the team behind the game, coming at the end of this year with early access for Steam, Chernobylite. Feel free to join their Kickstarter. I will leave a link to it down below as well. And to you guys at the Farm51, if you do watch this, as you guys have watched my previous videos, honestly, thanks for being such an open developer. I find that a lot of the developers that I've interacted with from the East tend to be a lot more open and experiment with their community. I'm not trying to diss those of us in the West. I'm just trying to say that here recently, most of the games that I've absolutely fallen in love with, especially genre-wise, tend to come from a part of the world that a lot of my country's population was brought up to just distrust, almost like a brand. Hate to put that out there, but it's the truth. If you're willing to learn about people, you might find their beauty in some of the places that you were taught to believe were evil and scary since you were a kid. This is awesome. I love it. Kickstarting the Zone. And they're already almost to their goal, and I think we're going to shoot right past it. So guys, without a closing there and everything, we'll kind of close that page out. The Farm51, I think they've got all the support they're going to need, especially here on into the future. And I really, actually unplugged my mic. I really did that for real too. But who cares? If you want to support them, if you don't have much and you're like me, support them with whatever you can. I'm just trying to get the message out there because I don't really have the funds to support them directly. So this is how I'm doing it now. Guys, feel free to check out this game. Feel free to check out the trailers. There is a 30-minute, like I said, if we scroll on the page there's a 30-minute game dev trailer. There is a game demo that they play through for you to view and everything. And you can tell it's still a work in progress, but it's already looking really good. I think this is going to be a good title and a really good tribute to those of us that are big fans of the S.t.a.l.k.e.r and the Metro series. So, to you guys at the Farm51, thank you so much for being open. Thank you for that AMA. Thank you for how you've been kind of open with us, answering our questions honestly. And it was a lot of questions, and they took them very, very openly and with an open mind, so we appreciate that. So guys, Kickstarting the Zone, Chernobylite. Are you guys going to support them on Kickstarter? Are you going to view them? Are you going to follow them? Stay tuned. I'm sure there'll be more videos for this thing to follow in the future.
Кричит ночная птица, он уже